Well, good morning, everyone. It is June 11th, 2015, and this is a very special Radio Tokyo update. I woke up this morning, maybe an hour or so ago, and I learned of the passing of the legend. It is probably the only word I can apply to this. But anyway, Sir Christopher Lee passed away on June 7th of respiratory failure and heart failure. At least from what I understand. If I'm incorrect, I'm sorry. Um, and I just thought I needed to, record this and just, it's a lot to process. For me, I am a huge fan of this man's. It's his body of work is just it's impressive. When setting up this video to be able to be recorded live, excuse me, I was looking at um, the search words, the keywords for what people can put in YouTube or when they're looking for things and will hit on this video, and I realized I was probably 20 or 30 different phrases in, and it kind of hit me exactly how much Christopher Lee has actually done that's impacted on me. He, as most people will recognize him obviously as Saruman from the Lord of the Rings movies and the Hobbit movies. But Christopher Lee played Dracula. He played Count Dooku. He was Francisco Scaramanga in James Bond. He was in The Wicker Man. He was in the Tim Burton version of Alice in Wonderland as the Jabberwocky, which was one of his favorite poems. There are videos of him out there reading the Jabberwocky, and it's beautiful to hear him read it. Um, Most of his career was actually spent portraying a villain, and I think it's rather telling that someone who played so dark characters has gotten so many tears shed for him this morning. Not just by me, because when I read it, yes, I admit it broke my heart. It really did. But everyone I know that's aware of his death, it's heartbreaking. It really is, and especially when you find out, that he actually passed away several days ago, and we're just now, the more, everyone else is just being told about it. Um, but yeah, he did a lot of stuff, and it's really just it's a lot to deal with. Uh, but he was born on May 27th, 1922, and as he got older, he decided in World War II to fight Nazis. He enlisted in the Finnish army, and then later joined the British Royal Air Force. He was in campaigns in North Africa and Italy, and after the war, became an actor and became the living legend that all of us know him as now. Um, Christopher Lee was a descendant of Charlemagne, uh, which, if anyone is familiar with his musical career, he he did a metal album at the age of 94, I believe. I'm probably wrong on his age. I'm sorry, but he did a metal album in his later years, dedicated to the memory of Charlemagne, and it's a little strange to listen to it at first, but still pretty cool. Uh, yeah, he's done voice acting for a lot of things in addition to his actual film roles where he is on screen. One of my favorite ones to always reference to people because it's not something that was really public knowledge thanks to the people who made the video game. But Christopher Lee voiced Emperor Lei Shin in World of Warcraft. Uh, you can look up, like audio recordings of Lei Shin's voice and hear, what he sounded like. And of course, it's heavily modified a little bit, to make his already deeply resonant voice even more so. Uh, but it's just interesting. The original voice actor um, did the lines for Blizzard, and this is when this particular portion of the game, was being beta tested, and the voice was put in, and it was the original voice actor. And then when the Isle of Thunder and the associated raid and everything went live, Blizzard had kind of slipped it past everybody that the lines had been recorded by Christopher Lee. Uh, from what I understand, he also voiced a few other characters in the Mist of Pandaria expansion, and it's just a thrill to know that you can go back and listen to him, being a villain. And like I said a few moments ago, it's just very touching to know that he played all of these very very dark characters, and it, it meant a lot to people. Um, Most people, as I said, knew him as Saruman, and his portrayal of who has got to be one of the most evil characters in fictional history is it's very powerful, and I think that has a lot to do with uh, Christopher Lee himself. And another interesting fact about Christopher Lee is most people are not aware that he was the only person who worked on either the Lord of the Rings films or the Hobbit trilogy who actually knew J.R.R. Tolkien. Um, it he knew over the course of his years and became friends with a large number of people. And and when I say friends, a large number of people, I mean literally. He was a very popular person, and everyone liked him. And from what I understand, he liked everyone as well. Um, he was just a truly, truly, truly amazing man, and it's very sad that I mean, it's sad is not even the word. I wish there was a word I could think of to describe what his loss has meant, not only to me, but to everyone else who's aware of him and has followed his career, you know, for so long. I mean, we're talking about someone who has been acting since, I believe, 1946. Um, of course, Hammer and Hammer Films would not have even had any remote success had he not lended his skills to playing Dracula, and it's it's just kind of it's really hard, to sit here and think about everything he was in, and you and not realize the impact he actually truly had. Um, it's a great loss, to everyone who's ever considered themselves a geek or a nerd, or just it's a great loss. Period. I mean, um, like I touched on before, he was a World War II veteran, and that generation is very rapidly slipping away. Uh, so just, I'd like to take a moment to say this as a personal note. If you know anyone who served in World War II, go spend some time with them. They're not going to be here that much longer. And I mean, it's easy to go look up exactly what Christopher Lee did during the war, and it's easy to look up some of the other stuff that he did, and it's it's a genuine loss. And I just wanted to say, I'm going to miss him. Uh, it's really hard to to put into words uh, how heartbroken I am over him not being here anymore. Um, and I know I'm rambling, and I'm sorry, but uh, it's just a big deal uh, for me to try and get my thoughts out. But that that's really all I wanted to do, and I appreciate all of you for listening, and I certainly appreciate everything Mr. Christopher Lee did. Not only for, for everything in general that he ever did, and I guess that's going to be it for now. Thank you for watching and listening, and remember the Saturday show will be up on Saturday. I'm gonna work on some more walkthrough videos and everything. So, yeah. Thanks, and have a great day. And please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Goodbye.